Hey everybody, welcome to Sylvester's Fashion, Art, and Tarot. And today I'll be doing a reading on Dame Vivienne Westwood. And don't mind my decor, I'm doing the reading from my bedroom, so don't mind it. Anyway, um, I'm just going to read what I have here. Uh, Dame Vivienne Westwood. Dame Vivienne Isabel Westwood was a British fashion designer and businesswoman. She was definitely a queen of wands. Vivienne Westwood recently passed on December 29th of 2022 at the age of 81. She was the mother of two sons. She was married to Andreas Kronthaler for almost 30 years. He's also her design partner, or you could say her creative director of her company. Throughout her career, she has always had a youthful, rebellious energy about her. From an article of the New York Times, she's defined the look of punk using rock iconography, royalty, art, and religion as reoccurring motifs in collections that brought a rebellious edge to British style. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar in 2013, quote, I was about 26 years old when punk happened and I was upset about what was going on in the world. It was the hippies that taught my generation about politics, and that's what I cared about. The world being so corrupt and mismanaged, people suffering wars, all these terrible things. From a quote from the New York Times noted in 2017, Miss Westwood remained a vocal environmental and political activist whose collections are always manifestos and calls to rally. At a show that year, she urged her audience to convert to green energy and focus their attention on the environment. In 2020, Miss Westwood dressed herself in a bright yellow outfit and locked herself inside a giant birdcage outside the London court to protest the jailing of Julian Assange, one of the founders of WikiLeaks. I am Julian Assange, she declared. I am the canary in the cage. If I die down coal mine from poisonous gas, that's the signal. What I'm doing now, it is still punk, Miss Westwood wrote in her memoirs. It's still about shouting about injustice and making people think, even if it's uncomfortable. I'll always be punk in that sense. Now, I don't even know who WikiLeaks was, so I had to look into it a little bit. But WikiLeaks is an Ingo owned by an Icelandic company, Sunshine Press Publication, that runs a website that has published news links, news leaks, and classified media provided by anonymous resources. Other publications consider WikiLeaks a whistleblowing platform. So, that being said, I want to do what I would like to know actually what was going on in and around fashion designer and rebellious activist Dame Vivienne Westwood before her death. So, I'm going to start the reading here. All right. Don't mind my bed. All right. Dear Spirit, dear God, please allow me to read on Vivienne Westwood. Please share what you would like for me to know, and what would you like for me to share. I thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. I thank you. Thank you so much. I would like to know what was going on in and around fashion designer and rebellious activist Dame Vivienne Westwood before her death. Please allow me to see into her life and allow me to share what you would like for me to know. cards keep falling out. Okay. Okay. And just two more cards, Spirit. About Vivienne Westwood before her passing. Just two more cards. Mm. Yeah, I just need a final outcome, Spirit. Okay. All right. Okay, place that there. I think you guys can see the cards from here. Yeah. Okay. Well, the first card I get is the Tower. This represents the person. So this definitely represents major changes happening in her life. A lot of transitioning, a lot of changes that she could not control. I think it was beyond her control. So that was nothing she can do. So this represents her as a person. So there must have been some really, really major changes taking place because I get it. I get the second card I get that's representing the situation is the Ace of Cups. And for the Ace of Cups, it represents new love, new relationships with people, new connections, building relationships with people, things of that nature. And Spirit is giving you a helping hand in that way. So this must have been a good change with these two together. So she was building some kind of new connection or building new love or a new way of connecting with people. There were going to be some major changing happening with that. So that's what I get with these two together. That's what I'm feeling right there. But what's beneath her, or or you could say past influences, is the Nine of Pentacles. This self-reliance card. She's always been a self-reliant woman, very resourceful woman. You know, she's the type of woman that likes to get things done. She doesn't like to. Um, she just likes to handle things herself. She delegates. She delegates with reason, but anything major, she handles it herself. You know, she's a woman that likes to handle her business because she is a businesswoman and she takes care of things. You know, she really doesn't like to depend on people too much because she just likes to just make sure it gets done. If you can't do it right, don't, you know, it's better for her to do it than to rely on somebody else to do it if they just can't do it right. That's the feeling I get with this, you know. So I'm feeling that strongly there. But in her past, well, like I said before I did the reading, she's definitely a Queen of Wands, and this definitely was her trait until she passed. And it sort of relates to the self-reliance card here with the Nine of Pentacles, but the Queen of Wands, this is definitely her. She's definitely a charismatic woman. She likes to relate to people. She likes to be a life of the party. She likes to be in control of things. She's very observant. She's diplomatic, very concerning about things, especially her life. She was very into uh, social issues. We call it world. Well, she was, what's the word? She was into helping to make the world a better place. She was an environmentalist. She was an activist. You know, she fought for things. She stood up for things. You know, if nobody else speaks on it, she's going to speak on it. She made it her business to be a part of what was going on in the world. And that's just part of her character, who she is. So, yeah, that's what I get here strongly. Very strong personality, who she is, Queen of Wands. And she was remained this way to her passing. Yeah. Now, what crowns her, or what could be like a future influence here, I get here is the Seven of Pentacles here. And she likes to plant seeds and watch it grow. You know, this is like a perseverance card. And she likes to plant seeds in youth. You know, because she wants the world to grow as a better place, she wants to, it's like her legacy is to influence the youth to make the world a better place. That's what I'm feeling strongly here. So she really likes to plant seeds that way. And she loves the youth because she always had a youthful energy. She loves children. And she feels that the children are the future, you know, because they're the ones that's going to be taken over as we get older. As people like myself are going to get older, the youth are going to be the one that's going to be in charge. And so we got to implant the seeds in them to make the world a better place. And she's very proactive in that. She loved that very much. So she's definitely a teacher, a person who likes to plant seeds in youth that way. And I get that very strongly here with the Seven of Pentacles here. What represents the future is the Five of Wands. I get conflict, but I also get daring action here. She's definitely a woman of action. She's definitely a woman that just like to just be on the go. She likes to be a part of things. She just wants to be around what's going on. You know, not in a bad way, but in a way that's going to make things better. You know, she's not a person that doesn't like conflict, but if she has to be a part of it, she's gonna get involved, you know, and she's gonna make sure that her voice is heard. She's definitely an activist in that way, and yeah, that's what I get here very strongly with her. Definitely, a woman of action, you know, and mm-hmm, yeah. That's what in my mind. I keep hearing conflict, 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 you know, but I don't. It's like, well, I'm hearing conflict, but it's like I hear the word struggle, but it's like, maybe she was fighting through some things personally. There might have been some personal things she was dealing with. Hmm. I wonder if this was related to her husband and dealing with him in some kind of way, dealing with his attitude and his personality. Yeah, because he could be a lot to take on. That's another possibility. Everything I'm saying is a legend, so I don't know the guy, but I mean I don't know who he. I mean I know of him. His name is Andreas Crothaler, but there might have been some conflicts with him, but not in a major way. Um, but at the same time, I get that this woman is a woman of action, and she just like to be a part of the scene of what's going on, and be involved, especially strongly in political things, because she stands firm and strong in the political aspect, because she is definitely an activist, and she fights hard for things. She fights hard for change. She fights with love. She fights with heart. She just wants to make the world a better place. That's just who she is. Okay? So I get there. Now, what's in her mind is the Three of Swords. So there must have been a necessary cutting or separation of some sort in her mind. Um, some kind of disappointment that was going on with her. Yeah, that she was very unhappy about something. Yeah, because this is like it's like I feel like disappointment and a bit of anger, and yeah, I think she wanted to make something better, it just wasn't working out. So I'm thinking this was something personal with her in regards to her husband. Yeah, yeah, I don't get the world with this, right? I think this is more personal. I'm feeling with her with the three of swords. So I think something she was very disappointing and she was very upset about, and yeah, something was happening in that aspect. All right, and this being in her mind. Now in her environment, I get the fool. In the fool, there must have been some personal journey she was taking. She's although she was married, but she's definitely a loner in some kind of way. In some kind of way, but she's also a person that likes to be alone. She likes to have her personal time. And when she's ready to talk with you, then she'll come out and be ready to connect. Otherwise, she's just a woman that likes to go about and just be on her own. And she likes her her space very strongly. I get that very strongly. She just loved her space. Her time alone was very important to her. It's like how it's part of her being centered and um, just having a quiet time was very important to her. But she's also a risk taker on some things. She definitely went with blind faith on a lot of things. She didn't worry too much about a lot of things. She felt very secure and supported in that aspect. What's popping in my head is like her sons are being very supportive of her because they love her so much. They love their mother, and they want to see the best for her. So she definitely had them as uh, I want to say crutch, but not in a bad way. I just get very strong support from her two sons. Yeah, very strongly. Um, yeah, that's what I'm feeling right there. All right. Now, what's in her hopes and fears? I get the Two of Pentacles. So she probably was dealing with a lot of things, trying to balance a lot of um, obligations that she was dealing with because she had a lot going on. She's a very busy woman. Not just, I'm feeling that her business was secure, but I think this is more of her dealing with personal aspects of her life where she just was taking on way too much and she was trying to balance it all and she was just trying to tackle one thing after another. And sometimes you could just get a little overloaded with too much to do. Um, so I feel like she had a lot on her plate, a lot of obligations of things she wanted to take care of because it's like her mission wasn't over. She had a lot to do. She wanted a lot to accomplish. And she's getting older, but she felt young. She felt very young. Her energy was young, but her body was getting older. If that makes sense. Because she had a very youthful energy. It's like, yeah, she got older over the years, but and she gained a lot of knowledge as well. But that spirit of her is just so useful. She just had a lot to do. I mean, it just wasn't over for her, guys. It really wasn't. Honestly, I don't think she was ready to go. I don't think she was ready to go. Part of me is like she kind of knew it, but she just wasn't ready to go because she had a lot to do. Now, what I get as her outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. And with this, I get practical manager of money. She was good with her finances. She was secure financially. She had all her things secured, as far as a will, leaving things to her sons, a business being taken care of and secured. She was quite well in that aspect. what's popping in my head is that I get a wealth of knowledge of sharing. Um, I'm feeling like she had a sweet, good life, busy life, abundance, abundance of life, full of life. Yeah, she felt really good. Although she wasn't ready to go, but at the same time, she accomplished a lot. She achieved. She really did. She achieved. And she just wanted to keep right on going. It's like keep riding the ties, and the tide was just never going to end. And yeah, she just wanted to keep growing her garden. She loved nature. She was kind to nature. She definitely was we call it environmentalist. Mm-hmm. It's like I see her like playing a garden of some sort and connecting with nature. She might be a metaphysical woman or new age of some sort. And strongly intuitive, love to connect, uh, strong but gentle personal personality. Um, what else? She definitely was a woman that had no problem putting you in your place. um, I get that too. Yeah, she get a lot off her mind. She says what she means, and she means when she says it, and that's just what it is. Take it or leave it. It's whatever. But I get full of life. Yeah, that's what I feel here. So she did good for herself. She achieved. She really did. And she's been very blessed. Yeah, and had she not passed, she would have just kept right on going. Yeah. All right. That's what I get here, y'all. Well, that was my reading for Vivienne Westwood. Or let me say it properly. Dame Vivienne Isabel Westwood. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please come back as I do another one. And I also have a shop called Sylvester's Fashion Art on Etsy. And please check it out. I'll leave the link in the description below. And yeah, so you guys take care. Bye.